So today we'll see about AWS. Okay, AWS, you know very well, this is the Amazon Web Service. Okay, it's very popular. That's the reason it came first. That's why. Okay, it came in 2016. In 2016. No, sorry, 6, not 16, it's 6. Okay, so it comes in 2006. So now let's see. Actually, before we don't have AWS and any kind of cloud services. Okay, so what the company actually works, how the companies works on the servers and their infrastructures. See, so first of all, why we need to AWS? Suppose this is my company. Let me create. Okay, my company having a project. Suppose this is my company, which is SCL. No, I can see Wipro. Okay, this is my Wipro company. And suppose Wipro company is working on a project. So what they will do? First of all, they have to establish their data center. Okay, they have to establish data center, and in the data center, having a lots of devices view. We have servers, servers, you need network. Okay, you need tools. Okay, you need storages, units, mm, server room. Okay, to maintain server room, you need cooling system. Okay, you need power backup, server backups, and routers and VPN. Many kind of devices you have to establish manually. Okay, so then after you can work on that project, right? You can work on that project, and maybe sometimes having issue on the server network and any devices. So you have to maintain. You need maintenance. You have to maintain. Okay, you have to maintain and troubleshoot the devices. So to configure this all provisioning, it's a very complicated. Okay, and it's a very costly. It's very costly to manage the companies. Okay, so now to resolve these issues, to make easy these all things, we have CSP. Okay, now CSP came in market, and CSP, that means cloud service provider. Cloud service provider. Okay, cloud service provider. Like you heard about AWS, it's the first one. Okay, on the cloud, it's the first we have AWS, it's the first number. Second number we have Azure. Third number we have GCP, Google Cloud Platform. And fourth we have VMware, IBM, and Oracle, and there is many of many cloud service providers. Okay, you can see 100 plus cloud service providers are here, which is who is providing services on the internet. Okay, there's many cloud service providers are there, but we will see about AWS, not about Azure, GCP, and rest all other. Okay, we'll focused on AWS. Why? Actually, first of all, AWS came in 2006. It's a first cloud service provide provider. Okay, it's a first cloud service provider. So almost all share market, and all the market captured by the AWS. Most okay, AWS. So what they will do? Actually, these all servers, network cables, storage devices, server room, cooling system, maintenance, backup, power backup, and engineer, all these kind of physical things they manage their data center. Okay, suppose I'm talking about AWS. Okay, so AWS manage the all servers and all backup devices and all networks and all storage devices are manually store a physical location. Okay, so from that location actually it is stored like this, these servers. Okay, so AWS physically configure this hardware on their premises. Okay, and from there they provides virtually servers to us. Okay, suppose I need a server, so we can purchase from AWS. So AWS provide a server from their physical servers via sharing. Okay, he can provide via sharing, we can access their servers, and their servers we can use for our purpose, like we need a hosting websites, we need a set up our data center virtually. Okay, if we want to configure our mailing applications on mailing applications, so we can configure. Okay, so everything it's in the virtually. And AWS says we won't take any building charges. Actually, before if you want to establish your data center in your company, so you have to purchase a building for rent. Okay, so AWS says we won't take any charges for building rent. Okay, any storage, any software license, and any operating system license we won't take. Okay, we won't take any charges for electricities. Okay, anything we won't take, but we will take, we will charge only those we will charge for resources. Okay, so how much resources you are using, how much resources you will use from our on premises, our data center. Suppose I want to take a machine, I want to take a server from AWS, which is 1 GB. Okay, I'm just configure a small server, 2 GB. Okay, Xeon 1 core and 50 GB storage. Okay, so I'm using these resources from AWS. So I have to pay only for these resources. Okay, I won't pay for all instances and any other services, any application, not operating system, we don't need to pay. Okay, we don't need to pay. We don't need to pay Windows license. We don't need to pay for data server applications. We don't need to pay any kind of things. Okay, we have to pay just for resources. That's it. Okay, so AWS provides these things. So same thing happen in the Azure, Google Cloud Platform, Alibaba Cloud, and Fujitsu and Oracle, VMware. So these all cloud service providers provide this kind of resources to us and charge. Okay, so this is a cloud service provider. So Amazon is a cloud service providers. Okay, so we don't need any maintenance, we don't need any engineer to troubleshoot the server and networking cables, no need. Okay, we just take this instance and we can perform our packages, applications, data center services, we can perform everything. Okay, but what you will do, everything you are getting from AWS. Okay, so what you will do and which engineers you have to hire. Actually, you need a AWS engineer. We can say it's a, yeah, AWS engineer. Okay, but your company needs AWS engineers so that AWS engineer can be manage your instances which you are getting from AWS. Okay, so in the company you don't need this kind of things. No need. Okay, so you are getting these services from AWS, and to manage this service and to manage this server you need AWS engineer who will manage these instances via cloud. Okay, you need this. Okay, got it. So AWS, it's a top level service provider in the market. So if I show you PPT, so what is the AWS? AWS, it's a world largest online retailer, prominent cloud service providers, and company was originally bookseller, but has expanded to sell a wide variety of consumer goods and digital media, as well as its own electronics devices like a Kindle. Okay, so from here AWS starts. Okay, from Kindle AWS starts, but in 2006. Okay, but in 2006 the first AWS offering were launched in 2006 to provide online services. So online services like websites, client-side applications, okay, and Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, okay, which is EC2. You know as it's known as EC2, and simple storage service. Okay, this is a S3. So EC2 it's just a server service where you can access virtual server, and simple storage, this is your storage service. You know about Google Drive. So Google Drive concept came from here. Okay, Google Drive, your OneDrive, Dropbox, Mega Injet, and this all storage device services on the cloud came from simple storage services of Amazon. Okay, so these all services are the backbone of the company's large and growing collection of web services. So there is many services are available in the AWS which we can use on cloud side. So Amazon Web Service is a secure cloud service platform. Okay, but to understand and to work on AWS, what all prerequisites are here? First of all, you should know about the AWS fundamentals. Okay, I want AWS fundamentals like what is AWS and how it's work. That's it. And you should know about Microsoft and Linux operating system essential. Okay, it means you should know about how to operate Microsoft system and Linux operating system. Linux. Okay, Linux operating system. You should know how we can operate and why we need to Microsoft and Linux. Actually, on the cloud side, cloud is just platform where you can get virtual resources. But on the virtual resources, you have to manage your service, manage your company data service, company's application server, company's mailing server. Okay, so this all server having a operating system, which it could be your Microsoft, which is Windows operating system, or Linux based operating system. Okay, that's why we need basic information about Windows and Linux operating systems. Okay, network like IP address, subnet, load balancer, and etc. in the network. Okay, so you should know about the IP addresses, subnets, what are the IP addresses and what all types of IP addresses and what kind of IP address we can assign. Okay, and working knowledge of virtualization. Okay, so you should know about virtualizations for basic. Okay, everything is basic, not any intermediate and advanced. Okay, so you should know about basic AWS fundamental, operating systems, networking, and working knowledge of virtualization and storage. Okay, storage like how many storage we have? We have SSD, we have HDD, we have blocks, we have file system. Okay, so this kind of things you should know to learn before AWS. Okay, and AWS update update with AWS new feature. Actually, AWS in every every week 7 to 10 new features introduced on the cloud. Okay, you can check out. And the certifications. Okay, about the certification. So to understand the certifications, let me do Google and AWS certifications. Okay, AWS certifications. So basically we have first one, fundamental. Sorry, it's a foundation. Okay, so foundational certifications for only those people who is studying in colleges. Okay, he already set up their goal. I want to go on the cloud site, which is AWS. So during the study, they can do the AWS fundamental certifications. But if you're a technical person, you already working in the organizations and you want to move on cloud side, move on AWS cloud. Okay, so this is for you, associate. So in the associate level, we have solution architect, we have developer, we have sysop sysops administrations. Okay, so what does it mean? So solution architect who engineer provide the solution, which kind of servers you have to purchase from AWS. Okay, uh, in which server you can maintain your company cost. Okay, so all kind of solutions and suggestions provide engineers. So those engineers, solution architect engineer. Okay, they have very good knowledge about the AWS pricing. Okay, which servers we have to purchase or not. Okay, and where we have to configure our routers, VPN and any other services. Okay, so there is solution architect who provides suggestion to company. Okay, then after getting suggestion from solution architect, then sysops administrator implement on AWS console. Okay, just like uh, after getting a response after session, sysops engineer administrator will go on AWS console and buy a machine and create company infra according to solution architect. Is it clear? Hello? Is it clear or not? Okay, fine. Actually, it seems okay, fine. Okay. So after solution architect just provide a suggestion. Okay, and sysops administrations implement on AWS console and troubleshoot the issues and manage the all machines. Right. So we will do solution architect and plus sysops. Okay, and developer it just provide the it just do the coding. It's a development department. Okay, So now we will do solution architect plus sysops. Okay, we are taking this training, solution architect and sysops. Okay, and after this training you can get this certification. You can do this certification from AWS, and then after you want to upgrade yourself. Okay, you want to go on the professional level. Okay, you want to do professional level certifications, so you can go for solution architect, okay, or DevOps. Okay, so who engineer done the solution architect, so they can go solution architect. Okay, and who engineers having a certification for having certification of developer and sysops. So both engineers go for DevOps engineer. Okay, now it's a very it's in DevOps profile. It's a very it's a craze in today's. Okay, in today market, DevOps engineers is very popular. So you can go, but no, actually after this professional level, you want to do some special certification in AWS. So you can choose any options: advanced networking, big data, security. So if you are developer, so you can choose any options, and solution architect can go advanced networking. Okay, any option you can select. It depends on you. But now this is our first step in the cloud. So we will take associate level certification. We'll take first associate levels training. Okay, so this training we'll see. So is this clear tool about this certifications? You all clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now this is certifications we have completed. Top benefits of cloud computing. Okay, so if we are using, if our company using cloud services from AWS or any other resources, other CSP, so what is the benefit? So first of all, cost. Okay, we deduct our cost, like suppose today's just like Flipkart. Okay, Flipkart. Flipkart. It's a commercial website, and at the time of any big festival time, festival time, it provide big million sales, big billions, whatever kind of sales it provides. Okay, you know usually it use only 100 servers. Okay, Flipkart companies having also their server infrastructures. Okay, and normally they are using 100 server on their infrastructures. Okay, so these are on premises server. It's a 100, but uh, selling time, just like we have Diwali. Mm, sell. Okay, and Diwali sell, it it needs 1000 server. Okay, 1000 servers they want. So what they will do, they will not purchase 1000 server, no. Okay, actually normally uh, 100 servers having a one, maybe 10 millions a customer hitting on Flipkart websites. Okay, in the normal days, 10 millions peoples hit the Flipkart server. Okay, so all 100 server manage this all 10 millions peoples. But at the time of Diwali sale and many special offers and any special season, it needs 1000 server. Why? Actually they know very well, at the time of sale, this 10 million user will become 100 million. Okay, may possible. So for to handle the 1 million peoples and 1 million customer, so they need more server. So Flipkart company will not purchase this 900 servers extra. Will not purchase. Okay, this is for only one day. So Flipkart companies will purchase a virtual server from cloud service provider. Okay, from Amazon only for one day. And after the Diwali sale, Flipkart company will again return this server to AWS. Okay, so as much instances you will use from AWS, so you have to pay only for those instances. Okay, those instances timing and it depends on your server also. Okay, so pricing also vary right there. So we will see in the pricing model, so what the cost for one server and to 1000 server. Okay, we'll see in the pricing section. So Flipkart again uh, return to return 900 servers to the AWS again. Okay, so now Flipkart no need to purchase permanently 1000 server. Okay, now it's a cost cutting. It's a very low cost if you compare physical server. Speed, you will see the very good speed. Okay, very fast server connectivity you will see. Global scale. Global scale, that means whenever you have a problem, maybe you can see the benefits of cloud computing service include the availability to scale. And in cloud speak, that means delivering the right amount of IT resources, for example. Okay, more or less computing power, storage, bandwidth rights when it needed, and from the right geographical location. Okay, in the world, any location you can purchase your server, any locations. Productivity, you can increase your company's productivities. Okay, and you can see very high and fast performance, and it's very reliable. Okay, it's very reliable. So these are benefits for the cloud computing. Okay, which we are getting from AWS. So basically, cloud service model having a three types of model. Cloud service model having three types of model, which is last, not last, it's okay, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Okay, IaaS, infrastructures as a service. PaaS, it's a platform as a service, and SaaS, it is a software as a service. So let me show you the Google AWS model service model. Okay, if I copy this image, okay, first before, if we don't have AWS, so what you will do? So if you don't have AWS, so on the premises you have to maintain this all things. Okay, before AWS, without cloud service provider, you have to manage your infrastructures like this. Okay, first of all, you have to do a hardware. Okay, there is no hardware. Anyways, we can add. Okay, hardware. On the hardware, you can install virtualization. On the virtualization, you can create multiple servers. Okay, servers having storage and networking. And then after, on the server, you need to install operating system. Okay, then after, you need a middleware, you need any applications and any services you need. Okay, runtime, you have to measurement your data, and then application services. So these all things we have to do manually. Okay, and to manage this all things, you need a servers, you need a uh, you need two physical devices, you need a server rooms and power backup, electricity, networking device, this all kind of things you need. Okay, and you need engineer who manage this all things. Okay, so these all things you have to do manually without cloud. But cloud, after the cloud provide IaaS. It is infrastructure as a service. It is IaaS. Okay. So in this infrastructure service, what they will do? Okay. You will manage only application, data, runtime, middleware, and operating system. And rest thing, which is virtualization server network storage, which is provided by CSP, your AWS. Okay, so AWS will provide only hardware. Okay, AWS provide only hardware, just like networking, storage, server, and virtualization. But on the hardware, what you will do? You want to install operating system, so you can install. You want to install any virtualization OS, just like VMware ESXi, just like KVM, OpenStack. Okay, any operating system you can install. Do you know what KVM, OpenStack, and VMware ESXi? Have you ever heard about this name? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
you never heard? Okay, have you
No,
ever
sir.
heard VMware workstations? VMware workstations?
Yes, sir. Heard about VMware workstation.
Oracle VirtualBox?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, VMware, Oracle VirtualBox, these are virtualization software. Just like, right now I'm also using VMware. Okay, this is VMware. If I show you homepage. Okay, so this is workstation 16. So it's my VMware workstation 16 Pro. So from this VMware, I can create multiple machines, which is virtual machine, and this all virtual machines are share my hardware. Okay, so if I use RHL 8, Red Hat 8, Ubuntu, Windows 10, so this all machine will work as a physical machine, but this machine will utilize my hardware. Right now, if I show you my taskbar, it's a consume 6.7. Okay, 6.6. If I close this virtual machine, close, power off, and now can you see it decrease? Now it's a 4.6. So whenever you will create a machine via VMware and Oracle VirtualBox, so it will utilize your hardware. Okay, but to use VMware, you need a operating system, base operating system, just like Windows operating system I'm using right now. Okay, But in the server side, if you want to use virtualization, okay, so you can directly install this all things, KVM, OpenStack, VMware ESXi directly on the hardware. No need to install any Windows 10 and any other operating system. Okay, and then after you can create multiple virtual machine, and you can provide you can use your application server as a database server, as a other server you can use. Okay, so now is it clear? This also called type 1 hypervisor. Okay, this is a under type 1. Okay, so please read about hypervisors. Okay, so now it's a topic for you, it's a task. So now read about the hypervisor. Okay, that's why it's written here. You should know about working knowledge of virtualization. Okay, this is a part of virtualization, that's why. Okay, anyways, so AWS provides this hardware, and my company can manage applications, data, data runtime, middleware, and operating system manually. Okay, and the next thing, platform as a service. This is a PaaS, PaaS. So in the past, no need any operating system. Okay, no need to install any operating system. Actually, AWS provide you this all things. Okay, so all the gray out area provides by AWS, and you will manage only application and data on the server. Okay, no need to manage your hardware OS, any problem with your operating system corrupted. So this all things managed by AWS. Okay, it's written other, it means AWS. Okay, so no need to see any virtualization server, any storage, any networking, any fault tolerance. No need to worry. Okay, you just have to manage application and data. So this is a platform as a service. Okay, and SaaS, 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 that means software as a service. So where you don't need any kind of things. Okay, no need to manage any kind of things. Just take an interface, just like a Google, not Google, it is a Facebook provides applications to you. You have to manage, you have to sign up and chats with, you can add the new friends, and you can chatting, you can post your photos on the Facebook. Okay, so it's just like a example Facebook. Okay, and where platform as service, right there you need to be login on the console. Okay, setting console, and where you can manage your applications, user management, and these whole things. And right there in the infrastructures, you have to manage these all things. Okay, from OS to applications, everything you have to manage manually. So these kind of services we have in the cloud service, in the cloud: infrastructures, platform, and software. Okay, so we will purchase only this hardware from the AWS in case of infrastructures, and we'll purchase these things from the from as a platform as a service. And the software we don't need to purchase, we have to do mention it. Okay, so AWS provide you an interface to you, so where you can use all services. Okay, so is this clear tool? Have any doubts, any questions? You all clear?
Yes.
Okay, so have any doubts, so you
Yes,
can
sir.
ask me. Okay, fine. Okay, good. So this is your cloud service models. Okay. So all the companies, all the cloud companies working on these models. So now the next, where we are, yeah. So types of cloud services we can see. So these also, these are all service types. Okay, I mentioned right there. Let me remove. Let's mention over there. Infrastructures, platform, and software. The next we have types of cloud. It is very important thing. Okay. Sometimes in the interviewer asked you what is a public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid. Okay, what is the public, private, and hybrid cloud, and what is the difference between them? Okay, so let's see. Let me show you the diagram. Pent. Yeah, this one. Okay. Suppose this is your company. Maybe company it's ABC. ABC, Wipro, anything we can write. Wipro. Okay, this is Wipro company. Let me show diagram. Wipro Private Limited. Okay, this is my Wipro company. Wipro company is connected to internet. Okay, and right there we have AWS. Okay, so AWS also connected with the internet. It's internet. So in this scenario, Wipro company wants to take service. Okay, wants to take service. Okay, platform as a service. Okay, any kind of services it can be Wipro can be take from AWS. So AWS provides instances to Wipro company. Okay, so Wipro company will take instance which is EC2 instance. Okay, elastic computing service taken by Wipro companies from AWS. Okay, so in these situations, AWS will not provide only for Wipro company. Okay, AWS can provide their instances to another company also. Okay, this is not mandatory. Provide only services for Wipro. Okay, AWS can provide services to your other companies also. AWS can provide services to other company also. Okay, so AWS works publicly. AWS provides cloud services publicly. Okay, so AWS can provide services for any person, for any company. So it provides publicly services to all companies. So AWS having a public cloud. Okay, AWS having just like google.com. If I open google.com, okay, I can access Google. So it doesn't mean you can't access. You also can access Google from your laptop or cell phone. Okay, so Google server is what? Google server is public server. So anyone can access Google search engine freely. Okay, anyone can access. Facebook, yes, I can access Facebook. You can also access. So Facebook is what? It's a public server. So just like AWS also, AWS can be provide services to all users publicly. Okay, so it is a public cloud. Okay, it is public cloud. But now I'm here in SCL. Okay, so SCL, not SCL. I had to change name. Suppose I will mention ICICI Bank. Okay, ICICI Bank. So ICICI Bank will not. ICICI Bank having a data center. Okay, ICICI Bank having also many branches are available, worldwide branches. Okay, so ICICI Bank having also their data centers. So this data centers available for only in ICICI Bank. That means all the ICICI banks can be uh, can be communicate with their servers only for ICICI Bank's branches. Okay, from outside person can't able to access any kind of services from these servers. Okay, so this is ICICI having private server, private cloud. Private cloud. Okay, so servers these servers can provide services to only ICICI Bank's branches. Okay, will not provide to any outside person. Okay, so that's why it's called private cloud. Just like I'm right now, this is my system, and over there I'm connected with my Wi-Fi. Okay, I'm connected with my Wi-Fi, and with the same Wi-Fi, I have a cell phone. I have a another devices are connected. So in my private network, I can access my cell phone, my other devices I can access in my room, but no one can use my laptop from outside. Okay, so just like I can't able to use your cell phone from here. Okay, I can't use your laptop from here without your permissions. No, we can't access private network. We can't access. Okay, we can't access private network without any permissions. Okay, so that's why. So same thing right there. ICICI having a private cloud. Okay, so companies if companies having their data center locally, so that is their private clouds. Okay, where they have machines, they have multiple virtual machines over there. Okay, so they all are under the private cloud. But sometimes you have to use hybrid cloud. Why? See, okay, so now we have hybrid cloud. So what does it mean hybrid? Hybrid, it's a mixing of two environments. Okay, it's a mixing of two environments, which is hybrid. Yeah, actually ICICI banks have a server. Okay, but these all are database server. Okay, suppose these all are database server. Then ICICI companies said to AWS that I have a database server. Okay, so I want my data should be stored on my on-premises server, on-premises private cloud. Okay, just listen carefully. ICICI Bank uh, tell to AWS, I want this is my database servers. Okay, and I want to create application servers on your okay on your EC2 services. Okay, so applications application will work, application server will work on AWS cloud. Okay, but whenever user wants to access application and they want to fetch their account informations, okay, so this application should be redirect their request to the database so that user can be access their account, okay, their account services. So we need application servers over there and database server over there. Okay, so we need connections. We need to create connections between both server. So how we can do? Yes, we can do via any idea how we can do? How to do connectivity between public cloud and private cloud? VPN. Okay. So via VPN we can connect our private cloud and public cloud. So this is a hybrid cloud. Is this clear to all? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is my
Yes, sir.
hybrid.
Yes.
But you know, right there, this is a bank. So bank will not take any okay, bank data should be secure. So bank will not take any risk through the VPN. Okay, actually in the VPN there is the internet. Okay, internet also over there. So maybe some hacker and some other net of fluctuations and your data could be um, creation collide. Okay, and your data can be bypassed to another network. Okay, so anything can be happen over there through the VPN. Okay, so now sometimes VPN also unsecure. Sometimes mostly companies are using VPN, but bank will not. Bank don't want to take risk. Okay, so AWS cloud service provider also provide a direct connections. Okay, direct connections. Direct connections. It's a we can say lease line. Okay, it's called lease line. You know, sometimes you have to take lease line from your ISPs. Okay, ISPs to company. So same like AWS to your company, AWS to your company, AWS establish the lease line. Okay, so through the lease line, you can connect your private cloud to public cloud. Okay, so now that's why companies, that's a bank and your army networks and your government networks are moving government networks are collaborate with the AWS cloud. Okay, otherwise not possible. Okay, so now there is security right there. Okay, no one between the AWS and your company. Okay, so this is your hybrid cloud. It is clear. So is there any doubt, any private cloud, public cloud and hybrid cloud? Any question? Tell me something, yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, don't be serious. This is only RWS, okay. So this is our private cloud and public cloud and your hybrid. Okay. So these all we have cloud. Okay. And I will also send you this PDF. Okay, not PDF, it's a Word file. I will send you. You can read it about this all things. So today I will not show you how to create AWS account. I think you all have AWS account. Is there anyone who don't have AWS account? Okay, actually to create AWS account I need to create a video, or if you have any person is there who don't have AWS account, so let's create. Okay, so first of all you have to click on search AWS and aws.amazon.com and click on this link. Okay, make sure this site it would be aws.amazon.com. Okay, so this is an interface, this is an Amazon interface. So if you don't have any account, okay, so you can register. Okay, so first of all I will drag my cursor on my account and click on AWS Management Console. Okay, so I will click on this option. So right there, first screen we have root user and IAM user. Okay, root user and IAM user. So there's two users are there. Okay, so what does it mean both user? So for the basic for as for now, just see root user is a super user who can do everything in the AWS, and where IAM user, this user having a restrictions. Okay, this user have to provide a role. Suppose I want to provide any role, he can manage only this application server, he can manage only networking and your monitoring and this all things. Okay, so we can provide any specific permissions to this user, but now we are going to log in with root user. Okay, we'll see it later on about the difference about the user and how to provide policies. Okay, so let's on the root user. So I already created my account. Okay, so if you don't have account, so we'll see. Otherwise as far as I know, you can, most of people have AWS account. Okay, they already created from YouTube tutorial. Okay, so now I'm just going to log in. Login and type password. Yeah. Okay, so first screen it looks like this. This first screen. Okay, So now from this screen, you can click on the services. Okay, just click on the service. Right side on the left, top left side, near the AWS icon, you can see services. Okay, so from the services you can see computing related services, robotics, customer enablement, machine learning, AR and VR, application integrations, cost management, blockchain, satellites, and quantum technology storage. There's many services out there. Okay, there's lots of services, but we will not read about this all services. Okay, we will see the all services which is required for associate level. Okay, we will see only those services which is required for associate level. That's it. Okay, by the way, and after gradually you after the in the company, gradually you will understand the all technologies. Okay, so this is all services. So now, I told you EC2, Elastic Computing, where you can purchase your machine. Okay, so first of all, to purchase and to create instance on AWS, let me show you one thing. How the AWS infrastructure works. Okay, how the AWS infra works. This is my company. Okay, my company wants to, I need a server, but I want to know from where, in which, once again, yeah. Okay, suppose my company, this is my Wipro company. Okay, so I want to take virtual machine from AWS. Just like we can take Google Drive service. Google Drive, this is also cloud service. Okay, cloud storage, where we can store our data. Okay, same we can take. One second. Okay, so same we can take instance service. Okay, we can take server services. So suppose I'm taking server services from AWS. So this is my Wipro company, Wipro Private Limited. Okay, anything company. So I'm gonna take machine from AWS, but let me see where from, in which data center AWS provides me this virtual instance. Okay, in which AWS data center I'm getting this virtual instances. Actually, AWS having a reasons. Okay, reason. So to understand reason, first of all, let me show you. This is our India. Okay, this is India. So inside the India, I'm taking a location Mumbai. Okay, so this is Mumbai location. So Mumbai location, this is my data center. Okay, maybe Rohini West, this is my data center. Okay, right there. And from Rohini West, after 10 kilometers, we have one more data center. It is DC. This is DC. DC, that means data center. Okay, data center means we have storages and multiple servers and networking devices, and where we have storage services. Okay, storage servers are there. So this is my data center. Okay, in the Ronnie West, and maybe it's any other area. Okay, so these both data centers are connected to each other. Okay, but the thing is, after, so this is a data center. So this both data center connectivities, this is a zone 1. AWS says zone 1. Okay, this is a zone 1. And after some kilometer, after again, they creates one more. In the Mumbai locations, they have 2 data centers also available somewhere. So this is your zone 2. Zone 2. Zone 1 and zone 2. Okay, at the Mumbai locations. So this is Mumbai locations in India, Mumbai, India. Okay, so Mumbai, India, this is actually it's a region. Okay, so this is a Mumbai region. So whenever I will create a, whenever I will purchase instance from AWS, so I will select my Mumbai region. Okay, I'm going to show you. If I open my console, AWS console, you can see top right side, uh, right to left, second North Virginia. So inside the, you can see Mumbai region also. This one, Asia Pacific, Mumbai region. Okay, it having a 16 plus 16 15 plus regions are there. So you can see Mumbai region having a AP South 1. It's only one zone. If I click over there, Mumbai zone, so you are inside the Mumbai zone. And if I go in EC2 and go downside, so can you see region Mumbai? It's a in the, under the Asia Pacific, and there's a AZ1, AZ2, and AZ3. This is a availability zone 1, availability zone 2, and availability zone 3. Okay, this is the zones we have in Mumbai region. So that means in the India, at the Mumbai location, we have 3 zones like this. Okay, one more zone we have to create. Zone 3. It's availability zone. Okay, so this is the reason. It is clear what is the reason and what is the availability zone. Is the scenario clear?
Sir, can you repeat again? Hello.
Yeah. See, basically, my Wipro companies are getting instances from AWS. Okay, but AWS provide instance from their physical infrastructures. Okay, and very well, AWS spread their services in worldwide. So where from and how the AWS provides services to all countries? How? Actually, AWS having reasons. Okay, and regions having a availability zone. So I'm just talking about India. So in the India at Mumbai location, so somewhere I have a data center. Okay, maybe this is your Rohini West. Okay, and from the Rohini West, 10 kilometers far, one more data center. Okay, one more data center we have. So Rohini West data center and this data center, both are connected to each other. Okay, so this is your zone 1. Okay, and the same scenario, maybe it's South Mumbai. Okay, South Mumbai. Okay, West Mumbai and South Mumbai. So having also different zone. So this like we have 2 zones, 3 zones, and these 3 zones. Okay, these 3 zones connected to each other. Okay, these 3 zones connected to each other. So this is a zone where from we can get the virtual machine. You can select manually. Okay, you have full freedom to select your zone. Okay, select your region. And why we need to select region? Actually the thing is, as much you select nearest region, so your website and your server latency will be down. Okay, will be down. So how we can check our latency? Latency, that means we can access faster. Okay, so there is a website CloudPing. AWS provide this CloudPing service. CloudPing. Okay, so just click on this CloudPing info. Okay, so can you see this is a simple website, and now it's showing HTTP ping. Just click on HTTP ping. So it will see the latency. Okay, from my location, it's just checking which servers, which region provide me low latency. So can you see it's 32 from Mumbai location. Okay, 32 million milliseconds. So now if I want to do fast connectivity and reliable network, so we have to create our instance in Mumbai region. Okay, but before I open Mumbai region, I selected by default North Virginia. Okay, Virginia, it's having 264 latency. Okay, so it's very far away from my location. Okay, so why I selected actually North Virginia, having a very low cost. If I purchase anything, any machines, any server, any storage service from the AWS, so you have to pay little bit uh, low cost. You have to, it will charge little bit low cost. Okay, so pricing of your virtual machines and your storages and your other services will be vary by region to region. Okay, your price will be vary region to region. So that's why we have to select our region, which region is suitable for you. Okay, so
Sir,
that's why I selected North Virginia.
sir, latency means network connectivity is slow or fast.
Yeah, as much latency will down, so network will be fast. Okay,
That means you want 325 millisecond or 25 milliseconds. 325 milliseconds means network connectivity is slow and fast.
See, right there you can see 2 or 3 milliseconds. It's a response time. So let's see. So today we will see about the how to create instance. Okay, so it's a very basic thing for cloud, how to create instance, and each and every engineer should know about this thing. So first of all, what you will do, click on the service. Okay, now I'm just showing to you how we can create our Windows machine on AWS and how we can access. Okay, how to create Linux machine and how we can access. So first of all, I will show you Windows machine. Okay, so how we can get Windows server from AWS. So let's see. So it's under the compute. Okay, I need computing devices. Okay, server is computing devices. So just click on EC2 option. EC2. Okay, you will see this interface. So right here, you can see downside your region. Okay, which region you are going to create. And if you want to change your region, so you can change. Okay, but I'm not going with Mumbai. I will use North Virginia. Okay, and right there, come upside, and you can see launch instance. So just click over here and click launch instance. Click. So as you click on launch instance, it will show the all images. Okay, show the all OVF files. So this is OVF files right there. OVF, we can say it's templates. Okay, so there is a pre-installed operating systems are there. So you know Amazon Linux, Amazon also provide Amazon Linux. You can select your Red Hat server. Okay, you can select your SUSE server, Ubuntu server. Okay, and if you go down, so you can see Microsoft Server 2019. Okay, you can use Ubuntu 18.4, 16.4, Amazon Linux 2, Microsoft. Okay, there's many servers are available. And somewhere you can see free tier. It's a free tier also. Okay, so it's a free tier. So where you are calling virtual machine normally, but in the AWS it pronounce instance. Okay, so these all are instance VM. So right there we have many operating system, but I will type Windows. Or right here I will type on Windows. Enter. So you can see the all Windows server. You can search. So I will not going to uh, go with the container based server. I'm just select my base machine. Okay, it's a 19 and select. So just wait. It will show you the all family. It's a instance family type. Okay, so we'll see it later on when we will cover EC2 instance. Okay, I'm just showing to you how to create machine, and then after we will see one by one everything. Okay, each and everything we'll see one by one. So now I'm just going with free tier. Okay, yeah, as you can see, micro instance are eligible for the AWS free tier users for the first 12 months. Okay, 12 month and the following your AWS sign up date. Since you created your AWS instance, it will count 12 month. Okay, so it is free for 12 month. So now I will select this free tier machine. So already selected. Okay, and I click on next configuration instance. It means I select my CPU and my machine, and now it asking about the configuration instance details. So it is asking about the number of machines. So at once you can create multiple machine, but I'm not going to create multiple. I'm just going to create a one machine. Okay, and this all option just skip right now. I will show you it later on. Okay, we'll see about everything. So now for now just skip it, but notice is see right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have three, not six availability zone. Okay, so in the North Virginia we have 6 availability zone. So if I show you, right click, open new tab. Okay, just click on this one. Can you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 availability zone over there? So during the installation, okay, during the configuration your instance, it will ask to you in which availability zone you want to create. So availability zone you can select, but you can't select your data center. Okay, you can select your zone. Okay, you can select your zone, but you can't decide in which data center your machine should be created. Okay, so you can't select your data center, but you can select your zone only. Anyways, I will click no preference, so it automatically decide wherever we have a free space, so it will create automatically. So just click on the next option. And the next it asking about the add storage. So by default root volume we have this one, and its size approx 30 GB. Okay, 30 GB instance, and it's a volume type. Okay, so we'll see in the volume section. Okay, I will not show you, and this whole things. If you want to create one more volume, so just click on the new volume and add 8, 30, 80, 40, any volume you want to, any size of volume you can create, but I'm not going to create. Okay, actually in the notice, free tier eligible customer can get up to 30%, 30 GB of EBS. This is a volume type or magnetic type, so you can use 30 GB only, maximum to maximum. Okay, 30 GB. So by default it show you 30 GB. Okay, you can't use more than 30 GB. If you want to use, so you have to pay. You have to AWS will charge, okay, extra 30 GB. So we just leave default setting, and next click on, and right there tags. By the way, no need to add any tags, but AWS recommend to you add the tag. Okay, I will type name machine 1. Okay, actually when you are working in the production level and where you are creating a machine, so it's very helpful. Okay, it's very helpful to mention tag. So from the tag you can find out your machine and click on next configuration. So now it's showing you configuration security group. Okay, configuration security group. So security group, it's just like a firewall. Okay, you can see the security group is set for set of firewall rules that control all the traffics for your instance. Okay, so it manages your traffics. So this is an actual firewall. By default, you will not get any firewall in server. So this is your firewall provided by AWS. Okay, so now assign a security group. So you can create a new group or you can select existing group. Okay, so I'm not going to create an existing group. I create a new group. So security group name, you can type security and any name you can type AWS, and the descriptions you can also AWS, anything you can type. Okay, or you can leave it default setting. And type, okay, which protocol you want to allow. RDP selected. Actually we are going to create Windows machine. So Windows machine works on RDP. Okay, so whenever we want to take RDP, whenever take any remote Windows server, so it use RDP protocol. Okay, so RDP protocol we have to use, and it's port number 3389. Okay, it's the port number. And if I click and write the source, actually where from you can access this machine which you are creating now. So I create my Windows server machine, so I want to create my location, only my location. So you can set custom. No, actually this machine can be able to access from anywhere, able to locate only for my IP address. Okay, it means I'm here at my office, Noida. So I want this server I can access from my Noida office, not anywhere. So I can select my IP. Custom IP, you can mention your IP addresses from and CIDR. Otherwise, I will use anywhere. Okay, but I will not allow RDP. I will allow all traffic. Okay, actually we are doing practical. That's why. But in the company, you have to select a specific protocol only. Okay, actually why I did all traffic, I will show you later on. And review and launch, just click review. So can you see I selected my AMI, which is Microsoft Server 19, and this all configurations are there. Instance details, storage tags you can see, but I'm not going to expand. Just click on the next. Okay, so this is a very good thing from AWS. AWS provide you security. Okay, actually over there you have to create a new key. So whenever we want to access AWS machine, so it will provide, okay, whenever we want to access AWS machine, so at the installation, at the creation time, we have to download a key. Okay, so select key. So I will click new key. If you have existing key, so you can select, but I don't know where is my key. So I'll click create a new key pair. Okay, it is a new key pair. And now tap the name AWS and download it. Okay, it's downloaded. So can you see you have to download private key. So that means this is my private key. Okay, so before you can continue, store it in a secure and accessible location, you will not able to download the file again after is created. Okay, so just see, after download this key you won't find, okay, you can't find on AWS, but there is solutions we have. So solution we'll see it later on. So this is my keys, download successfully and launch. So there is a 355. Okay, if I go down and I click on view instance, okay, so now you can see instances. There is a one instance which is this one, so it automatically generates an instance ID. Okay, now instance is running, but now status is pending. Okay, my machine is not initialized properly, so it will take 2 to 5 minutes. Okay, so within 2 to 5 minutes your machine is ready with operating system. No need to install operating system, no need to manage your hardware. Everything is managed by your AWS. So just wait, let me refresh from here. Refresh. Actually, whenever we will take any Windows operating system, okay, it's a little bit difficult to access. Okay, but I want you just see and understand how I'm doing. Okay, once it established, okay, 2 by 2 checks should be there. Okay, anyways, it takes time, else I will restore my password. Okay, so you know it's showing as you select your machine. Okay, so it highlight your connect options. Without check mark it will not show the connect. So check first and click on connect. So right there it showing to you RDP. You know, Windows machines we can connect through the RDP. Okay, so RDP. So it's showing username administrator and password we need to get. So let's click on get. Okay, as you click on get password, so it will show the new window. Okay, right there, browse to your key pair, which is AWS. Okay, key pair instance with this instance AWS. So I'm just clicking. Okay, open, and this is my AWS, and open it. Okay, now my key is select successfully, and go downside and decrypt password. Just click. So can you see this is a password? So I noted down this password in Notepad. Password, username, administrator. Okay, username is administrator. So my machine, Okay, my AWS machines username this one and my password this one. Okay, so basically how we can access Windows computer remotely. How we can access? Any idea?
Through RDP.
Yeah, through RDP, but what is the process in client window?
That port we need to enable.
Yeah, actually on the AWS, my machine is created successfully, okay? And I'm just asking to you, if you have two machines, okay, if you have two machines over there, okay, in the same network, okay. So if you want to access PC1 to PC2, okay, you want to access PC1 from PC2. So how you can take remote? Actually, see, RDP is this protocol who had to take remote Windows computer. Okay, so RDP is this protocol, and I just like a HTTP and HTTPS. So both are protocol which is helps to access your websites, right? So just same thing in RDP, but I will use remote desktop connection. Okay, I will use RDC, and right over there I need a IP address. IP address. IP address of remote machine. Okay, but now I'm going to access my AWS machine. Okay, so we need AWS IP address, AWS instance IP address. Okay, recently I created my Windows server, so I need Windows server IP address. So come on the server. Okay, so I will again click on instance EC2. Okay, you can click on instance also. If I click on instance, it means virtual machine. Okay, so don't be confused. So right there my instance this one, and click on this option, check mark on this machine, machine 1, and okay, just click on this box so that you can visible this all things. So now I have IP addresses. So which one IP addresses you will use to access this server from your local network? Which IP address you will use, public IP address or private IP address? You will use public. Okay, actually I'm not available in AWS network. Okay, actually this is my machine is created on AWS infra. Okay, AWS data center. My machine is created in AWS data center. So my laptop is not available in AWS data center. It's available in other location. So to access any computer, any server from other locations, we need private IP address. Okay, so I will copy this private IP address. Sorry, public, not private, it's public. This copy and come on this are DC connections and paste it. Okay, and connect. So as you click connect, so it will ask to you username and password. Username and password. Okay, so username we have already stored in Notepad. So username this one, username, and password this one. Pass and click on OK. Okay, certification. Just click on the yes and wait for a while. Your machine is connecting. Okay, now it's connected. So can you see on my screen? It's a black. Just wait for a while. Wait. Okay, this is my Windows server. Right side, just wait. Right side, you can see the all information about my machine. Just it is 1 GB server, okay? 1 GB. You can't imagine on 1 GB you can't install your Windows 10. But you know, right there, we are access Windows server machine, not a client operating system. It is a server operating system. Okay, so now we can assume, now we can now we can imagine what technologies using in the cloud side. Okay, so right side, can you see the host name? This one, instance ID, public IP addresses, my private IP address, availability zone. Okay, memory 1024 MB. Okay, if I right click on the server, just click on the file manager, file explorer. Okay, if I right click on this PC and properties, so can you see there is a, just wait, there is data center, this data center version. Okay, and right there we have workgroup. Okay, 1 GB RAM, and this is a processor Xeon CPU E5. Okay, so this is Xeon processor using by AWS. Okay, now this is my AWS machine, but AWS machine is working or not. Okay, so to show the AWS server, you know, right there there is IP address, just copy. Okay, first of all, let me know, is this clear how we can access our AWS machine from our laptop? You're clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
next things, okay, this is advanced thing. I will show you it later on. But for the practical, for the small practical, I will show you. I just copy my public IP address, and you know very well all the servers working on public IP. So if you see the Google also working on public IP address. Google, Facebook, and other all servers. So you can't able to visit any website. Okay, if I show you Google, so now Google IP address, this one, copy and paste in the next step, enter. So Google frequently open its website, but where my server not able to show any websites over there. Okay, so suppose being an admin, I want to host my website. Okay, suppose developer gives me code, and the developer says host this website on internet. So how we can host our website? Okay, so to show the to host our website, you have to install IIS server. Do you know about IIS server?
Internet Information Service.
Yes, correct.
That's a feature in Windows Server.
Yeah, correct. So it is a server. It is a feature in Windows server, and your client side also. Your client side also available, but we'll use in Windows server. Okay, yes, this is a web services, web hosting service, where we can through this service we can host our website over the internet. So how we can do? Let me down this all things and open my server which I connected. Okay, so now I'm going to open my server manager. Okay, if you ever use Windows Server, so you know very well from the server manager we can install add role. Okay, so we have to add roles in feature. Now it's refreshing. Just wait. No, it is a 1 GB 1 GB server. That's why we have to keep patient for a while. Manage. Click on add roles and feature. Okay, I'm going to click next, next, next. Okay, now role. Actually, I have to provide this web service role. Okay, web server role, which is IIS. So add feature and next, next, next and finish. Next, next, next and install. Nothing you have to do. Nothing. Okay, it takes maybe 2 or 3 minutes. So after installing this package, your website will be your default website will be visit. You can see right over there. Okay, refresh. You can see IIS service default web page. Let's complete it first. Just wait. Okay, you can see. So your servers provide a default website. Okay, which is IIS, Internet Information Service. It's a default web page on your server's IP address. Okay, so this is your default website. But no, actually, your developer says to you, you have to install this website code. Let me close. Suppose I'm just going to create a new file. Notepad, and I'm going to create this okay, Diwali is too late. Okay, I just write HTML code and save on the desktop with index.html extension. Okay, extension must be HTML. Actually, I'm going to create website page. Okay, this is my website page. and I want to host this website. So what we will do, just cut and go the C drive, and inside the C drive you will see initpub and www root. So this is a default directory. Okay, so this is a web page. So if I paste over there, okay, so let's see this also stm. I will remove this file. Okay, so now this is my file. Okay, suppose this is a developer file. So let's refresh it page, refresh it. Okay, so now your website is hosting. If you want to check out this IP address on your phone, so you can see the same page you will see. Okay, you can check out. You will see the same website. Okay, so anyone can access my server from this with this IP address. Okay, but they can use only website. So check out on your system, is this page available or not with this IP? Check out. Are you able to see this website with this IP? If you need to trouble typing, so I'm just texting you. So this is my website. Okay, but make sure whenever you are done your practical on AWS, okay, now as of now, so if you done your practical, so make sure your machine should be terminate. Okay, terminate, otherwise AWS will charge you. Okay, AWS will charge you. I will show you. See, this is my machine. Actually, I done this practical. We have create our machines on AWS, and we have access and host our website on the internet. Okay, so I'm going to disconnect and terminate this machine. So just click on check mark on this machine. Click on action. Okay, where you can see instance setting. Wait. Yeah, and the instance state. Okay, actually, few days, AWS changed its interface. Before it was all features in a single tab, but now you can see 3 tabs. Okay, so now click on instance and terminate. Okay, I terminated, and after some time, your machine will be terminate properly.